everyone, welcome to VoiceOver World. My name is Amanda, and today I'm going to do a long overdue review of the Anime North convention. So I attended Anime North this year for the 5th time, so I figured it would be fun to show off some things that I have of Anime North. 2014, my first year going. 2015, 2016, 2017. You can see I even have an autograph on this one. It's Little Karibo, so that was pretty cool. And then there's this year. So I'll start out by talking about what surprisingly most people I think go to these cons for, which is shopping. I actually, for the first time, I had planned things that I was looking to buy specifically. Normally, just kind of show up and see what's going on. I'm more interested in like the voice actors they get to come than I am really in the buying things idea. So this time I had a clear goal. I mean, I've had some of these for a long time. Like I've always wanted to have a dakimakura or I've always wanted to have a body pillow, but I'm usually very disappointed in the selection of body pillows marketed towards females. So I did not end up getting one of those because, as per usual, I was very disappointed. Although this year I was very excited to buy things because I normally don't watch mainstream anime, obviously. I think Obscure Anime Recommendations is a video coming out before this one, so check that out to see what I mean when I say I don't watch common anime. This time, I recently watched Code Geass, and so I was like, Code Geass is a pretty mainstream anime. I mean, like, Lelouch is like the #1 favorite character on my anime list, so I figured this is a show people know about, and there'll be some kind of merchandise about it. I prefer merchandise about Suzaku because Suzaku's my boy, and so I was really hoping that I could get something with Suzaku on it, or like maybe a Suzaku figurine, or something along those lines. A Suzaku body pillow would be paramount. But I found nothing. I didn't even see any Code Geass fan art in the artist alley. I didn't see any Code Geass posters in the dealer's room. I think I saw a figurine of C2 for sale, but I didn't want to buy it. And interestingly enough, also, I only saw 2 Code Geass cosplayers. One of them was cosplaying Zero, and one was cosplaying, like, I guess still Zero, but when he wears all the white clothes near the end. So, during the Zero Requiem. So I was like, kind of disappointed about that, honestly. But I had another goal for shopping, and this time I succeeded. I got a lot of mangas. I say a lot of mangas, I mean a lot of one manga. I couldn't find all the volumes at the con, so I had to buy some of them online. So far only one's come from online, so I'll just take that out of the stack so you can see. I bought Here is Greenwood mangas. And once again, if you've seen my Obscure Anime Recommendations card would have been earlier, then you can tell I like this show a lot, so I'm reading the manga. And interestingly enough, when I was trying to read the manga online, they only had up to volume 5, and I think this is because, as you can see, like the logo changes, like they printed them later. So people have only actually scanned up to volume 5 online. So I needed to get these to even finish the series. And I obviously didn't need to get like all these ones, but I like to have a full set. And I got volume 5 in the mail yesterday. So now I'm only missing 7 and 9. So, and I went through so many stores. I went through so many stores in the dealer's room to try to find all of these, but I could not find 5, 7, and 9. So maybe they're just really hard to come by, I don't know. But all these are in really good condition, like, for a book that came out in 2004 and I'm expecting is used, these are all really nice. I am pleased with these. This is a good purchase. When I bought volume 6, I did not know, like I looked at one store and they only had volume 6. And before I went to any other stores, I just bought that one there, even though they did have volume 6 at the store where I bought literally all the other ones. But it was too late then. This one had a sale, I could buy one and get one free, so that's really good. So I looked for a long time for what one I wanted to get free, and they did not have any manga that I wanted at all. All the manga series they had that I wanted, like I liked the series, I already had those mangas for it. So I ended up just caving and I bought volume 2 of Kujibiki Unbalance, which, I mean, Kujibiki Unbalance isn't necessarily my kind of manga, for obvious reasons, but I like the story behind Kujibiki Unbalance, because I'm a big fan of Genshiken. And I just realized there's a little Genshiken side story at the end, which I will enjoy reading. Apparently this manga is only 2 volumes in total, I think, because it says the end at the end. Get volume 1 and complete this set someday. That's what I bought on like the first day. I bought all those things on the Friday. And on Sunday I found this keychain. This keychain of Yugi. There's a short story behind this Yugi. I like it a lot because it's like little Yugi. It's not like the pharaoh. It's like little Yugi, and he has a Karibo, and it's really sweet, and I really like it. And I love keychains. I used to have one of Hatsuharu from Fruits Basket, but it fell off my bag at school. This Yugi I had on my Amazon wishlist for 2 years, and the reason why I never bought it off Amazon was because it was $15 on American Amazon, but like $60 last time I checked on Canadian Amazon. And that is not how the exchange works. And I was not willing to pay that much for it, but I couldn't buy it off Amazon.com because I had a Canadian Amazon account and didn't want to make an American Amazon account, even though they will ship to Canada from Amazon.com. And this is what it's like living in Canada, guys, if you don't know it. It's a constant struggle to shop online. I saw this at the convention for $8, and I bought it. Because it's adorable, and I love Yugi, and he's got a little Karibo, and it's nice. Maybe I'll put it on my backpack or something. I don't know. It might get damaged on my backpack. I might keep it for a bit first. And finally, I got this little this thing here. How do I explain what this is? There's a little keychain inside, a little like rubbery keychain inside. I'll show you in a bit. But basically, the concept behind this was I paid $10, which, I mean, might be much. Little rubber keychain. You get one of 8 different characters. I bought this because I was honestly cool with getting any of these 8 I would have been happy with. Obviously I would have preferred, I'm gonna say probably Toromatsu, just because Toromatsu is my favorite. But I opened it up, and I'm still pleased with this one. I got Iyami, and he says, "Say," and I think it's really funny. So I will probably put this one on my backpack. So those are the things that I bought at Anime North. So next up, I'm going to talk briefly about cosplay. I am a very, very amateur cosplayer. I have purchased one cosplay online before, and I have made one cosplay out of just clothing items I can find at various stores before. This year, I wasn't planning on cosplaying anything. I was just kind of like, whatever, I'll just go as I am. I didn't do much planning into it. I wasn't really hyped for it, mostly because of the guests, which I'll get to later. But I did end up cosplaying, even though I was planning not to. For the Saturday, I put on my Serena cosplay. I bought that outfit off of the internet. If you're wondering what else I cosplayed My Valentine. This year, there weren't a lot of cosplays that really stood out to me. I noticed there were like 3 different Bob Ross cosplayers, which, I mean, Bob Ross is great. One of my favorite pictures I saw being taken was someone was cosplaying Bob Ross, and he was like, trying to, take a picture. So he walks up to a tree with his paintbrush and puts his paintbrush on the leaf of the tree, like he's painting the tree, because Bob Ross paints trees. There was the usual squad of Waluigis. I'm pretty sure they're there multiple years, where they, like, I don't know if they're all together either, but if anyone is cosplaying Waluigi and they walk by another Waluigi, they wah at each other for a while, back and forth, as they're walking by. And it just seems so normal at the time, like, when you're witnessing it. Like, yeah, of course they're gonna, wah, because it's Waluigi. But then you think about it afterwards, and you say it out loud, and you're describing it to your friends, and you're like, wait, this is pretty weird. This is not normal. This is not something people normally do. I caught a glimpse of some really good Critical Role cosplayers. That was really exciting. I don't know if this is a correct observation, but out of all the Critical Role cosplays, I saw like, you know, which character was cosplayed the most was Jester, which I'm happy about because Jester's my favorite character in the current campaign of Critical Role. I saw a couple cosplays of Yosuke from Persona 4. I saw quite a few cosplays from Persona 5, mostly Joker. But yeah, overall this year I wasn't too impressed with cosplay. Last year had a really funny trend where there were two different people were cosplaying Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. And I was a fan of that one. As a natural progression, the amount of Homestuck cosplayers is going down, which makes my heart sing because they're dying off. But yeah, so let's move on and talk about guests and panels. Going into this con, I was not looking forward to any of the guests, really, that were going. I mean, J. Michael Tatum was going. I'd seen him before the last 2 years, 3 years he's been there. There was Josh Grell, who I would have loved to see. Thinking back on it now, I would have loved to see him, but when it was first starting, I was like, I might go get his autograph just because he's famous. It's like, all the people that went, I recognize their names. I don't watch a lot of Funimation dubs, and so to me, I wasn't too interested in most of the voice actors. But I did watch Shimoneta and The Devil's a Part-Timer and some other things, so I was thinking, you know, seeing Josh Grell might have been cool, but he canceled at the last minute. Then there was Micah Solusod, and I had not heard him before. Well, I had heard him before. I had seen 9 episodes of Soul Eater 3 years ago. So I've definitely heard him. I just didn't know who he was. I'd heard of his name though because he voiced Yuri Plisetsky in Yuri on Ice. All these voice actors that went, I'm pretty sure, like 90% of them were in Yuri on Ice. And they had this big Yuri on Ice panel planned, and I was like, whoa. I mean, Yuri on Ice was a nice show, but the fandom scares me, and I watched it subtitled when it was first coming out. So I'll get to the reason why I didn't watch Yuri on Ice dubbed yet in a moment. They also announced Eric Vale. And of course I know who Eric Vale is because I watched Hetalia and Fruits Basket. So they had Eric Vale, and I did get Eric Vale's autograph. I'll show you my autographs off in a moment. So Eric Vale was there, and Jerry Jewell was there, or Jerry Jewell was there. I don't know how to pronounce his name, because everyone I know would pronounce it Jewell based on how it's spelled, but I think he said Jerry Jewell in the panel. I don't know. Samantha Inoue Hart was there. I don't know who she is. They announced her last minute. And some other guy. Shoot. He's from Mississauga, I'm pretty sure. He played a character in Fruits Basket. I looked him up. And I didn't know his name at first. I had to look up his character afterwards. And I found out that he's the guy that teaches martial arts to the members of the Soma family. His name is Kazuma Soma. There were also some other guests. I didn't really pay too much attention to them. There was one guest, Neil Nadelman, that I wanted to at least go to one of his panels to see what he's like. But I never got a chance to do that, just based on scheduling conflict. Dan Salvato, the maker of Doki Doki Literature Club. I never played Doki Doki Literature Club. My sister was a big fan, so I got an autograph for her. So, on the topic of autographs, I gotta complain about this con, okay? So I get there to line up for autographs for Jerry Jewell, alright? I'm in line, having a good time. And then I waited there. You're not supposed to get in line until 15 minutes before, keep that in mind. So we weren't lining up. Me and my father were just standing around the general area. They would tell everyone to get lost and we just wouldn't go, and they kind of ignored us after a while. So we were waiting to wait. Fun schedule with that. So once 15 minutes before came, they let us line up and they asked who we wanted to see, and we were like, we wanted to see Jerry Jewell, and I was like, alright, that's fine, go into this line. And so we did, and we lined up, and we got a pretty good spot too, because we were there earlier than we were supposed to. Got in line for that. I was really nervous. I didn't know what I was gonna say to him, because, things I remember about Jerry Jewell were He was in Fruits Basket. I don't remember what he sounds like. It had been a long time. It's been a long time since I saw Fruits Basket. I haven't actually, like, I've read the manga a bit recently, but I haven't actually seen the show in a while. So I don't remember what Jerry sounded like at all. And I knew him from Hetalia, but I wouldn't say Russia's my favorite character. And I couldn't watch Yuri on Ice dubbed because he sounds like Russia from Hetalia, and I can't take him seriously if he does a Russian accent anymore. So I was like, whoa, I don't know what to say to this guy. So he tried to make a joke and small talk, and I don't know how, so I just kind of like smiled and giggled and nodded, and it was really awkward. But I got a picture! Yay! And so a picture can go here. It was a fun time. I just like, hey, let's meet this guy. I don't know anything about him. I went in almost completely blind. So he autographed my Fruits Basket manga because cutest character on the cover, and he signed it with his signature, and then he wrote Kyo afterwards because that's who this character is. And I love autographs. I love how this symbol, if you can see this little swirly symbol, represents Eri in Jerry. I think that's the key to a good autograph, is just take every letter you can out of it and just leave the bare minimum. This book will make a return in a story to come. So I'll keep it here. It was really cool to meet him, and I remember what he sounded like after he started talking to me, and I was like, oh yeah, he's there, yeah. So it all came back really suddenly. And then, as soon as we left the autograph area, I noticed there was a lineup for Eric Vale, which Eric Vale wasn't supposed to have autographs for another hour. And there was no notification or anything saying that he would be doing it earlier if they moved the time or anything. So I kind of just said, hey, you know, let's just go in this line real quick. And so we did. And so he signed this, which is the other side of the book, because he voices this character here. It says my name on it because I had to pay $30 for this autograph, and I have a problem with that, and I have a problem with the con as well, because I think that the convention should advertise somewhere not already in the line which autographs will cost money, because I had to pay $30 for this, and in my opinion, that's a lot of money for someone to write in blue pen on a book. You know, I don't think that was worth it in the end. I kind of regretted it. And I really wanted to ask him about Crossing the Gods. Check that out. Also, there'll be a card on one of these sides at the top of the screen about my video I did about that, because I noticed Eric Vale is supposed to be in Crossing the Gods. And Crossing the Gods is a thing with the bunch of New York voice actors. But he is clearly Funimation. He's clearly doing stuff in Texas and things like that. So I was wondering how he even got involved in that. I was gonna ask him. Would have made for a cool little fact I could add on to this ongoing saga that I have going while we wait for the release of that. And I didn't get to because I was kind of distracted by the fact that I just paid $30 for this autograph. And he tried to make small talk with me, and I'm really bad at that, so we kind of had to go off on that tangent for a bit. And my dad was there, so I don't know. It just got pretty weird pretty quick. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't have time to prepare, and I'm kind of disappointed in that experience. But real pleased with Jerry, not so pleased with Eric Vale. It is what it is, right? Panels! I wasn't planning on going to too many panels because I wasn't interested in most of the guests. But after I got Jerry's autograph, I realized he was a cool dude. And so I was looking at the program. I saw that later that day he had a panel with him and J. Michael Tatum, who I know is also a pretty funny guy. And it was like Extemporaneous Blabbering, the Art of Conversation was the name of that panel. And I'm like, what the hell is this even about? So I went, and it seemed like they didn't know what it was about. But then, they talked about the art of conversation. It was like a cliche, they're saying everything sarcastically, like, here's how you talk to people. You extend your hand and someone takes it, and now you are acquaintances. And just things like that. I did learn some good tips about talking to people, though, which, it's useful, especially, it's a group of people at an anime convention. We really need help with that. So, I did learn something, and it was really funny, and then they opened it up to, like, deep questions, and it kind of brought the mood down a little bit. But, it was interesting. Like, I learned a lot of cool things, and I wish I took, like, a picture or a video of it, but I didn't want to feel, I don't know, no one else was taking videos, and is that kind of a dead practice, taking videos of panels? Because people used to do it all the time, but now I see less and less online. But, it was just really cool to be there. It was interesting, to say the least. I really liked going to that panel, and I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting to really enjoy this, because I don't really listen to these voice actors. But then I realized they're more than just voice actors, they're just funny people, they're entertainers, and it's really fun to go see their stuff. So if you're ever at an anime con, and you want to do something maybe that you wouldn't normally do, go to a panel for a voice actor that maybe you know nothing about, because it's surprisingly entertaining. You can learn something about them. Like, I didn't know anything about Jerry Jewell. I had seen his picture on Behind the Voice Actors maybe 5 times, and I knew his name. That's like the end of it. But now I consider myself a fan of his, and yeah, so that's kind of cool, It's like I got a new, like, now, if Jerry comes back, I'm gonna go see him again. It's obvious. It's a no-brainer now. And then on Sunday, he had another panel that I really wanted to go to, and I did go to. It was like at the end of the day. Once again, gonna complain a little bit about scheduling for Anime North. They shifted the panel time up 1 hour. So it started an hour earlier than it said it would in the guidebook and on the online guidebook app. So I'm really happy I went 1 hour early to line up, because when I got there, I was 5 minutes late, and I'm like, I was supposed to be 55 minutes early, but I made it in good time, didn't miss much. It was very small, not a lot of people came, because it wasn't advertised that it was moved, and I feel kind of bad for Jerry. Like, did he know that it was messed up or anything? Because, I would feel pretty bad if I had a panel and no one showed up, but he talked about voice directing, and I learned a lot about voice directing, and I might make another video about that in the future, recapping everything I can remember that I learned about voice directing, because from what I can tell, they do voice directing very different at Funimation structure-wise than I've heard other voice actors say from either New York or LA. So it was really interesting. I learned a lot about voice directing, and once again, Jerry is just a really funny dude, so it's cool just to, like, listen to him say stuff. So yeah, that's my experience with the panels at Anime North 2018. If anyone from Anime North is watching this video, because I will be posting this on Anime North Discord if they let me, on Anime North Reddit, most likely, just leaving a little message here. Why did the guest request thread of the forum disappear? Why did all the feedback threads disappear from the forum? Because I know a lot of people on Facebook have been complaining a lot about this, and they're also complaining there's no place to complain. And I think that's a big problem. If you really want to make your con better, then you have to take constructive criticism. You have to take feedback. You gotta listen to people and how they hate this and figure out how you can make them not hate it. This is kind of how these kind of things work. So if you want to do that, that'd be great. So I'll end this on a positive note with my plans for next year. Honestly, because of how fed up I am with Anime North's organizational skills, and because they normally don't bring in the kind of guests that I'd like to see. Like, they normally bring Funimation actors exclusively for the past several years, and I would much rather see someone from LA or New York. I really want to go to a different con as soon as possible. I've been looking at a lot of cons in New England, because I live in Toronto, or near Toronto, obviously. So I've been looking for cons in America nearby. New England is pretty doable, I think, for me. I could even get my dad to drive me, probably, because my dad also likes going to anime conventions, so he'd probably go with me and he'd just drive me there. Next year, though, I'll have to go to Anime North again just because of how things work out with my family. If I was going to go to a foreign anime convention, I'd want to go with my sister, but my sister's in high school, and she does the musical theater every year, and that lines up basically, like the last rehearsal lines up exactly with when Anime North is. I don't want to go without her, so I'll have to go to Anime North again. So next year for Anime North, my plans, because I've been planning my next year's cosplay for a while now, because when I had the idea, I knew it was too late to pull it off last minute, so I've decided to do it for next year. I'm going to be cosplaying Yuffie from Code Geass. So I guess that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Like it if you liked it. Dislike it if you disliked it. Just keep things fair and honest, don't have to lie. Likes are preferred, though. If you'd like to see some of my other content, check out my channel. If you like what you see, you can hit subscribe. If you really like what you see, you can hit the bell icon after subscribing. And I would love to hear your opinion about Anime North, anime cons in general. You know, if you've had a similar experience or anything, leave that in the comment section below. And lastly, if you have an idea for a future video you'd like to see me try and do, leave a comment for that as well, and I'll be sure to consider it for a future upload. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon. Shit, what am I doing? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Oh, if I turn the page. Lelouch v. Britannia, and then my dad has never seen an episode of Bob Ross, so we gotta fix that. I was never a fan of Homestuck, or Steven Universe, or Voltron, or Undertale, and maybe you're seeing a trend here of what these things I don't like consist of. And traffic conflicts, and my friend Quinn didn't get out of bed till like 10 or something.